Welcome back, all of you. Yes, it's after a long time. I'm uploading one video, and hopefully, it will help you in cracking ICSE language paper. One of the important components that we have in language paper that is comprehension and summary writing. So comprehension, reading the passage, answering passage, and then writing the answers. Handling the answers won't be difficult for you if you have been practicing um, but where we face a little bit issues, that is with the comprehension. Okay, what about this grade? We have to draw a grade, how many grades to be drawn, whether the grades to be cancelled or not, with pen or with pencil. So there are a lot of questions, and I've been getting a lot of requests from your end that to make a video on comprehension. So let's get started with comprehension writing, sorry, summary writing. And the question answer part, writing the meanings and all, it's not that difficult. So I'll be uploading this solved paper of year 2020, and definitely you can go through and see. You won't have much doubt. If you have, definitely you can post a comment and I'll try my best to answer. So let's get started. Question number 4, read the following passage carefully and answer the questions that follow. Attending classes inside a railway carriage seemed unusual enough, but the sitting arrangements turned out to be unusual too. At Toto Chan's previous school, each pupil was assigned a specific desk, but here they could sit anywhere they liked at any time. The most unusual thing of all about the school, however, was the lessons themselves. Schools normally schedule one subject, for example, history, during the first period, when everyone in the class just did history. Then, say, arithmetic in the second period, when you just did arithmetic. But here it was quite different. At the beginning of the first period, teacher made a list of all the problems and questions in the subjects to be studied that day. Then she would say, now start with any of this you like. So, whether you started on history or arithmetic or something else didn't matter at all. Someone who liked composition might be writing something, while behind you, someone who liked chemistry might be boiling something in a flask over an alcohol burner. This method of teaching enabled the teachers to observe as the children progressed to higher grades, what they were interested in, as well as their way of thinking and their character. It was an ideal way for teachers to really get to know their pupils. As for the pupils, they loved being able to start with their favorite subject, the fact that they had all day to cope with the subjects they disliked meant that they could usually manage them somehow. So, study was mostly independent, with pupils free to go and consult the teacher whenever necessary. Then, pupils would be given further exercises to work at alone. It was study in the truest sense of the word, and it meant there were no pupils just sitting attentively while the teacher talked and explained. The first grade pupils hadn't quite reached the stage of independent study, but even they were allowed to start with any subject they wanted. Some copied letters of the alphabet, some drew pictures, some read books, and some even did physical exercises. Just then, the boy sitting behind her got up and towards the blackboard with his notebook, apparently to consult the teacher. Toto Chan stopped looking around the room, fixed her eyes on his back as he walked. The boy dragged his leg and his whole body swayed from side to side. Toto Chan wondered at first if he was doing it on purpose, but she soon realized the boy couldn't help it. The boy said brightly, my name is Yasuaki. What, what's yours? She was so glad to hear him speak that she replied loudly, I am Toto Chan. This is adapted from the story Toto Chan. Very beautiful story. Okay. Now the questions that follow is give the meaning. You generally get 3 words that you have to find the meaning. Short phrases are allowed. So after upload, you can go through these answers. answers are highlighted. Wherever you have 2 marks, that where you see what was unusual about sitting, it is expected that you write 2 points. Okay, and if possible, if there is more scope for that answer, definitely include those points. But generally, 2 marks, marks for 2 points. But again, it depends. It might happen the answer has the scope of writing 4 points. That means the examiner must have meant half mark for each point. So 4 points are expected, depending on the scope of the answer. Okay, so let's go to our important part, that is the greet part. Okay, so here the C question in not more than 50 words. So now it has changed to 50 words. You have to write, you have to describe how the children were taught. Read this question carefully. How the children were taught. So you have to go back to the place, the portion of the passage where it is talking about how the children were taught. So let us go back to the part how they were taught, how the children were taught. So is it there in the first paragraph? Let us see. No, because first paragraph is talking about the usual thing that happened in school. Then second paragraph somewhere around mid here it's starting, but here it was quite different. So what different it was? So where you here you can see where it is written number 10, that is a number. Okay, at the beginning of the first period, the teacher made a list of problems. So this is one point, that she made a list of problem and question to be studied, and they can study with start with any subject. Okay, so different subjects that were done. Then what is the purpose of doing this kind of third point could be that this enable the teacher to observe the child. Okay, the way, and also the fourth point which is important about the way of their thinking, how the perspective of child, how the character of the child uh, is, they are constructed, they are developed this ideal way. They can start, they are given a lot of freedom to start with the favorite subject. Okay, and they have the entire day to manage the other subjects. Okay, so they become very independent learner. These are the key points. So see how from the given passage we are extracting the important, the keywords: independent, thinking and character, observing the children. It's a truest, the teaching, learning, independent study. Okay, all this. So let us, I have already done this greet, but one thing I'll also share with you, that since it is done, you have to make a greet. So it is 50 words, so you have to make a greet like this. Okay, now if you see horizontally, I've taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. So horizontally I've taken, but in notebook, when you're doing on your notebook, it is not recommended that you do like this. Okay, I'll share how I've done in a notebook. Okay, over there you will be to see that when you are sitting for exam, when you are giving test, how we'll be doing. Okay, this is just for your reference. There is nothing wrong if you do horizontally 10 and then vertically 5. Okay, that is nothing wrong, but to make your work more neat, it is always prescribed, it is always suggested that you should be 5 columns and 10 rows. Okay, so let us go back and I'll show you how to do in a notebook. Okay, so we have seen the question C, which is a summary question, and it is of 8 marks. This is ICSE 2020, the one which we were discussing. In not more than 50 words, describe how the children were taught. Okay, so the points that we discuss, let us see how we are going to put that in rough grade and fair grade. In summary writing, you have to do these 2 grades, that is, one is rough grade and one is fair grade. So in rough grade, if you see very clearly, it is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 columns are there, and since you will be doing on ruled paper, because ICSE provide you ruled paper to write, so it won't be that difficult. So there are 10 rows and 5 columns. So 10 into 5 is 50. Now after you have done this, everything is done, okay, using pencil. So you have to strike a diagonal line to show that it is a rough grade. And this rough grade, since we are doing writing with pencil, It gives you the freedom to erase, to rewrite. So this part, if I don't feel that no, some other word I want to use, okay, rather than using two words, I want to use some other words, okay, so I can erase and write again. So make your rough grade very proper, precise and perfect, so that you don't have to waste time in fair grade. Fair grade is whatever you have written over there, this 50 words, you just have to copy in your fair grade. So the rough grade you have seen. So now let us go to fair grade. Now this is your fair grade, where you write fair grade with pen, and see the same box again. The table has been drawn using pencil, and all the words I have taken from rough grade itself, and they are written with pen. So all 50 words, and below we have presented nicely total number of words required 50, total number of words written 50. Okay, and there will be no cancellation, nothing. Remember very clearly that fair grade, there is no cancellations allowed at all. Okay, even by mistake also, while you are copying, maybe one word you missed, then at that point only you have to cancel this whole thing, and you say that fair grade is done, and go to a new page. Okay, present your answer properly. Okay, so go to a new page, write again fair grade, and again start writing fair grade from the start. Okay, so this is your fair grade. Now see the words that I have used. The students were taught in an innovative way. Okay, innovative way, I've used the word innovative. The teacher began the class by enlisting the problem. This is one of the first points that we come across that day's subject. Students were free to start with their favorite subject. This also points, so there is 3 points. Teachers were facilitators. Now the word facilitator is not used in the passage, but the way the teacher were guiding, okay, you can also write teachers were guide. Okay, facilitators, guide, they were not giving just an explanation and lecture method, rather they were just helping the guide the students, and approachable. Now there is one sentence that students can go to the teacher whenever necessary. That one sentence I have reduced that into one word, adjective I've used, approachable. Students were empowered to become independent learners. Independent word is definitely there in the passage, so independent study, so I'm using the word independent learners. Empowered word I'm using. Okay, then their thoughts and character, these two words are already there. So from the passage, since the question says that how the children were taught, what is the method, what is the process, okay, the mechanism used to teach the children, so this are the method. Now when you see 8 marks, so 8 marks is basically you have to have 6 points. Okay, 6 points over here, like what is innovative way, then one is enlisting the problem, that is the second one. Okay, free to learn, there is a third point. Then free to start, the fourth point. Facilitators, approachable, fifth point. Empowered to be, sixth point. Independent learners, and the seventh point, thoughts and character. So basically this fair grade is having 7 points, which is actually more than enough. So 6 points, key points should be there in your answer related to the question asked. So 6 points. So okay, and then you have got this 8 marks. Okay, now one thing generally I'll just upload a short video that in comprehension, what are the demarcation you get to see, that if your essay if your summary has got all the 6 points, then and everything, your fair grade is proper, your rough grade is proper, everything done properly, then definitely there is a good chance that you will be getting 8. But if you have only 5 points in this fair grade, that time the number will reduce. There is one table, okay, which is generally used by the ICSE examiners. I'll share the table with you, and there you can just have a look that if you have 5 points, okay, that time it is reduced to 1.5. So 5 plus 1.5, the range become 1.5. So if you have all the 6 points, so 6 plus 2, that makes it 8. 6 for the points and 2 for all the things that your rough grade, fair grade, expression, your vocabulary, your grammar, everything taken into account. Okay, so that table I'll share with you, so it will be very helpful. So hope this video has really helped you in understanding writing, summary writing, and all the best. That I wish that everybody gets 8 out of 8 because it's very scoring, like how you have really shown your love and support for the notice writing. Okay, do share this video so that it will help your friends, your peers. Okay, and definitely it will help you in scoring 8 out of 8 in comprehension summary writing.